Sure, you may also be a genius who can come up with plans to change the fate of the world, but that's beside the point. There's no way an ordinary girl like you would be okay with a plan that would cost millions of people their lives, is there?
You there, young man.
You're Reen Schwarzer, correct?
As am I. Stories of the Ashen Chevalier have certainly made their rounds across Calvin. Though I suppose not all of those stories paint you in the best light.
I was wondering when we'd finally get the chance to meet.
Oh, no. The pleasure is all mine, I assure you. In a way, this feels closer to a reunion than a first meeting. Perhaps it's due to all the tales I've heard about you from Tita and Josette, and from Prince Olivert as well.
Oh, Reen! There you are!
What you see before you is an outline of Operation Meal Mirage, our response to Operation Jormungand.
I knew it.
It doesn't stray too far from what we'd expected, but even so.
Seeing it all laid out like this makes it overwhelmingly real.
I get that a plan this crazy is probably our only hope, but still, we're really gonna do this, huh?
The Empire has drastically increased its military might, due largely in part to the draft. Current estimates number their forces at 1.2 million strong, and that figure will only rise before the fighting actually starts.
On the other hand, Calvard's military can barely scrape together 800,000, at most. Even if they try to boost their ranks with a draft of their own, that probably won't go over too well, judging by their last election.
Not to mention the huge difference in weapons and resources between the two countries. In terms of both aerial combat fleets and core tank units, Erebonia has a clear advantage. And that's without taking Panzer Soldats into account.
Yeah. There's no way the Verne Company's production line could even hope to keep up. What's more, the Empire now has an excuse to throw all the new technology it's been developing into this war.
With that in mind, it's entirely possible that the Civil War was nothing more than an opening move.
I agree. It seems likely. The same could be said of the Orbital Shutdown phenomenon, or even the 100 Days' War. It is our belief that these events were simply set up, all to pave the way for Operation Jormungand.
Damn it. Those monsters. And Meal Mirage is your plan for how to hold back Operation Jormungand.
We have with us the Republican Army of Calvard, the Royal Army of Liberl, the Remiferian and Viceland armies, as well as troops from Le Mans and Orid, and even resistance cells acting out of Crossbell in Northumbria.
You intend to coordinate every one of these individual forces united under a single banner to suppress the Imperial Army from all sides.
That's exactly right.
As you stated before, Calvard's armed forces total 800,000 strong. The Viceland army should bring that number up by about 100,000.
The Principality of Remiferia is prepared to lend its aid as well, to the effect of approximately 80,000 troops. Add to that figure an additional 120,000 from the Kingdom of Liberl.
Further, we can count on receiving around 20,000 soldiers from Le Mans and Orid combined, as well as another 10,000 from Crossbell and Northumbria. And this is to remain off the record, but we're expecting roughly 30,000 in reinforcements from Arteria as well.
Naturally, we plan on bringing Jaegers into the fight too. We've been scouting out Jaeger corps big and small. All in all, I'd say we're looking at a good 40,000 extra soldiers.
Altogether a combined total of 1.2 million. Finally putting us on even ground with Operation Jormungand.
A war like this would stretch over almost half the continent.
Resistance cells from Crossbell, huh? That must be Sonia and the others.
Yeah, Muriel told me a bit about it, but...
Northumbria too? That have something to do with the movements we heard about there?
Yeah. The resistance there is made up of former members of the Northern Jaegers, who got absorbed into the Imperial Army.
And we got troops from Le Mans and Orid, too. That would be their defense forces, no?
That's right. We've actually known about their involvement for a little bit.
I have to say, I'm surprised the High Seat of the Septian Church would choose to involve themselves so directly.
But Rosine mentioned something about this earlier, didn't she?
Yes. The Congregation for Divine Worship is likely deploying the Papal Guard as we speak.
The Imperial Army's technological superiority is undeniable, and we can't underestimate the threat Ouroboros poses either. Further, directing and coordinating all parties involved will prove a tremendously difficult task. That is the purpose of our meeting, to determine who will serve as the key piece in our plan. the cornerstone upon which we can build our success. I present to you Cassius Bright, Lieutenant General of the Royal Army of Liberl, and, as of today, Supreme Commander of Operation Mille Mirage.
What? Now that's what I call a power move.
A natural decision. Lieutenant General Bright did head the search and destroy operations against the cult in Crossbell.
What's more, he can already boast having pushed back an Imperial invasion once before. He's the most brilliant tactician of our time, without a doubt.
I should have known.
So you've accepted the position then, Dad? Even after hearing everything that's going to happen as a result of this plan?
I have. This can truly be called the Great War, the likes of which mankind has never seen before. A war that will surely destroy the lives of all it touches, soldiers and civilians alike. Hundreds of thousands of lives. Worst comes to worst, we could see casualties in the millions.
Millions? Yeah, that's definitely possible. But at least it will keep the Empire from completely destroying everything.
Yeah, she has a point.
I think I speak for us all when I say this dreadful decision weighs heavily on our hearts. But there are stakes here far more dire than the invasion of Calvard itself. Namely, Erebonia's 2 Septarians, as well as its curse, which spreads further and further with every land it conquers.
It's all connected.
If we don't act soon, the Republic will fall to the Empire's advance, drowning the entire nation in its curse. It would then only be a matter of time before the surrounding countries fell as well, until finally all of Zemuria is in the curse's grasp. All for the sake of reviving the ultimate being, the Great One. This we must avoid above all else. If this dreadful decision is the only chance we have of saving our world, then so be it.
This whole catastrophe began in Erebonia. Though I can't personally agree to this plan, as a member of the Imperial family, I must allow it. Your Highness.
This is the consensus we have reached. I trust you understand now the reason we've gathered here.
There are a few things we must ask you now. Namely, if you accept the necessity of our plan. And furthermore, if we can count on your cooperation.
I'm sure you'd like some time to talk things over amongst yourselves, and with your other allies as well. But as you can probably tell, that's time we just don't have.
Members of the Bracer Guild, Special Support Section, Class 7, and Thor's Military Academy as a whole. We need your answers, here and now. How do you respond?
When it comes down to it, we, the Special Support Section, are just a single division of the CPD. We're in no position to defy the will of a nation, let alone 4. We understand the severity of the situation. But be that as it may, we can't, in good faith, lend our aid to this cause. There has to be a better way to fix this mess we're in, and we won't back down until we figure out how. Not just to stop this war, but so that someday, Crossbell can take back its independence for good.
I see.
You can count the Bracer Guild out of this deal, too. We're the supporting gauntlet of the common people. Their security and protection will always come first. But at the same time, we understand that you have to do this. So instead, we'll make sure to get in touch with our headquarters in Le Mans to organize an evacuation plan for all the citizens. And in the meantime, we'll look for our own way to resolve this. Just like the SSS. That's the Bracer Guild's decision.
Estelle.
Ah.
With so many of us still missing, we can't claim to speak for Thors as a whole. But we can, at the very least,
tell you our decision as Class 7. Become the foundation of the world. In a sense, those words have shaped our class from the very beginning. A war this big is certainly one way to keep the curse in check. We could be a new foundation afterwards. One built over ruins and destruction. But this curse is not absolute. Though it sweeps across the nation, toying with our fate, there are still those who stand together to resist it. We've seen as much with our very own eyes. We need a plan to try and ensure the safety of the world as we know it. Mille Mirage can be that plan, but like the Guild and the SSS, we choose to find a third path forward for ourselves. That means dealing with any incidents brought about by the curse, as well as the rivalries. Whether or not that's even possible, I don't know. Time is running out on us even as we speak. Yet still, we'll continue to tread forward, step by step. Because we owe it to Prince Olivert to find that third path he always strove to take.
Rean.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
The path Prince Olivert would have wanted.
I see.
My goodness. The naivete of youth never fails to astound me. And yet, as history shows us, it is precisely the young and foolish who bring change to the world.
The same could be said of those not bound by duty or tradition. Come to think of it, Prince Olivert himself embodied every one of those qualities.
He most certainly did. And his spirit lives on in this next generation.
We have heard your convictions, clear and true. Operation Mille Mirage is already underway, but so long as you respect our position, we will respect yours in turn.
You're under no obligation to participate in our plan. That said, we'd appreciate your help wherever possible. That includes exchanging information, keeping civilians safe, and so on.
We certainly have more room to cooperate than Operation Jormungand does at the very least. You Bracers played a pivotal role in solving the incidents in Laburo, as did the Special Support Section in Crossbell. I eagerly await seeing what such seasoned heroes can bring to the table.
Thank you. We won't disappoint.
I don't know if I'd call us heroes exactly, but we'll help out in any way we can.
All that suspense was killing me.
As grim as our circumstances are, we now know what our mission must be.
Right! We gotta do everything we can to stop this war before it begins. And even if it does, we'll just have to find a way to end it.
Right. Our first course of action is figuring out exactly what we can accomplish right now as members of Thors. I imagine the rivalries will play a key role in that.
Agreed.
You're all pretty gung-ho about this, huh?
How are you guys so relentlessly positive about everything?
It really is the most annoying thing about them, isn't it?
Wait a sec.
I know that voice.
It's him!
Enforcer number 0 of Ouroboros.
Campanella, show yourself.
Sounds like things are coming along nicely over here. Quite the illustrious guest list you have here. I'm almost starstruck.
Indeed. It would seem the rumors weren't unfounded.
Belle! The new third Anguis of Ouroboros.
Lady Mildine, my greetings to you and all the leaders of the world gathered here today. I see a number of familiar faces and some new ones too. My, how delightful.
You must be Dieter Croesus' daughter. I've heard the rumors of what you've become.
A member of an international terrorist organization. Gracious me.
Whoa! He really called it, huh, Lady Belle?
Ha, you're one to talk.
Hey, this is some party you guys got going on.
Real swanky joint, too. Shame for you, Zephyr's here to crash it.
Shirley!
Boss! That means Zeno and Leo are here too, doesn't it?
Sure does. But hey, we're not done with the lineup just yet. Don't think things will go the same for you here as they did at the workshop.
Please excuse our intrusion.
Sharon.
George!
So you've come.
Lecter, it's really you.
In the flesh. Long time no see, ladies.
My lady, everyone, it has been quite some time.
You should have just kept the mask on, Angie.
If you're all quite finished, it's time I make the final introduction.
Your Highness.
Cedric, why are you...
Ah, if it isn't my dear sister Alphen, and Class 7. Your little stunt in leaves caused me no end of headaches.
You had it coming! That's what you get for getting Elise and Tio all wrapped up in your schemes!
That's simply how it works between us. You should understand this by now. The rivalries are no different. This particular matter has been entrusted to me by Chancellor Osborne himself. Consider this a little congratulatory visit from us to celebrate the commencement of Operation Mille Mirage.
Were we just hacked?
Yep. They probably used the Society's astral code to infiltrate the system.
Courtesy of Belle and the Fool, I'd assume.
Sounds like we're in for a fair bit of trouble then, huh?
Yeah, they're coming.
What the?
Damn! They brought Imperial warships! No, not quite.
This is the bridge. We have an emergency. We've got 8 Crimson ships approaching on our 9. And with them, a 280 Arch-class airship.
Damn. There's only one ship that friggin' massive.
You mean the one that appeared during the orbital shutdown?
That's right. Ouroboros' pride and joy. The largest battleship in the history of mankind.
The Crimson Ark. The Glorious.
Now, shall we get going?
Best of luck, all of you! You guys be careful, okay?
Wait, what in the world's going on? Whatever it is, it looks like we got a real juicy scoop on our hands. Oh, no you don't.
I believe you all know what it is you must do.
Yeah.
We got this.
Just leave it to us.
Now then, shall we move out ourselves? We are currently under attack by Ouroboros' enhanced Jaegers and members of the Red Constellation.
The Red Constellation, huh? Gonna be a real pain in the ass, especially with the Blitz there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Gilbert's probably heading up the enhanced Jaegers. Not that he's anything to worry about.
But speak for yourself. I'll make sure that little errand boy regrets ever stepping foot in here.
Ash, Kurt, I'll be counting on you.
You got it.
Understood. We must stop His Highness.
Yuna, Altina, we're going to need your support as well. Of course! Let's do this, Ellie!
I'll give it my best.
All right, guys. It's time to begin our joint operation. Team A will go starboard. Team B, you head port.
Our current position is the rear side of the lower deck. Let's make our way up to the top deck. Take out any intruders you find along the way.
Right! This will be the perfect chance to put our teamwork to the test, huh? It's our time to shine, Reen. Let's go!
Right. Show me what you've got, Lloyd.